Hey, what's happening, YouTube family? I hope you guys are having a blessed day. I hope you guys are having a great day. I got another treat for you guys. I'm going to slowly but surely make more content about this book, about the chapters in this book, because this is just an amazing book, and a lot of people don't know this information. And this information is very valuable, and it deserves to be put out there. This book goes against everything that the mainstream media has put out about a lot of your favorite artists. You know, this information, this stuff, you won't hear it nowhere else. But inside this book, this author, John Patash, has done amazing work to reveal the hidden hand behind the deaths and downfalls of a lot of your favorite artists. So this man deserves all the flowers. This man deserves all the accreditation for bringing this information to light, and how the CIA and other government entities used drugs as weapons to control and to later, murder a lot of your favorite artists. So today we're going to talk about Janice Joplin, the Queen of Rock. So all you Janice Joplin fans out there, this one's for you. And the next time I'll make content in regards to this book, it'll probably be about Jimi Hendrix. All right, let's get started. Queen of Rock, Janice Joplin, targeted with speed and heroin. Janice Joplin, whom National Public Radio would later dub the first Queen of Rock and Roll, had a typically hard time breaking into the male-dominated rock world of San Francisco, but she clearly had star talent early on. After growing up in Texas, Joplin attended the University of Texas at Austin, where the school newspaper highlighted the bluesy white singer in the early 1960s. By 1963, she had moved to San Francisco, where musicians such as Tony Brown said the word was out that there was this singer who was going to be very big. Joplin also became a hit on the second stage of the 1963 Monterey Folk Festival, where she won 3 singing contests, and major label record companies soon wanted to sign her. By 1964, a U.S. intelligence-linked man entered Janice Joplin's life. In San Francisco that year, Joplin dated a man who called himself Michael Raymond, and who had told another girlfriend he worked for the FBI. Raymond worked for the French army during the Algerian conflict and sold a communication system to revolutionary groups in the Middle East and North Africa. And I want to interrupt real quick and just let you guys know that that's a pattern in a lot of your favorite artists' lives. When the FBI wants to enter their lives, they'll send boyfriends and girlfriends disguised as authentic people who would like to enter into your life and make it better, but really they're used to bring you down. So I'll go ahead and resume. Joplin's publicist said years later that neither Raymond's name nor his history was his own. He had a fraudulent international pharmaceutical company he set up in Canada to obtain drugs. All of this suggests Raymond worked with intelligence agencies in general and likely had joined U.S. intelligence. The physically attractive Michael Raymond was deceitful and manipulative. Raymond obtained pure amphetamines through his fraudulent pharmaceutical company. A musician friend of Joplin said Raymond got Janice to use speed regularly until she was totally strung out. She was emaciated, almost catatonic, just not responding. Janice's publicist also said her speed experience was induced by a man. He had been the cause of it. He had brought her lower than she had ever been in her life. Raymond asked Joplin to marry him, and they were engaged for a while, until Joplin found out he had already had a pregnant wife. Researcher Mae Brussels stated that Janice Joplin's first LSD was administered surreptitiously. When Joplin discovered that happened, she ran to spit it out. Her publicist described Janice Joplin's second acid trip. Someone was passing around a little bottle of wine filled with acid and didn't tell her what was in it. Joplin took a big swig of the wine before someone revealed it was filled with LSD. Acid, Janice shrieked, ran to the bathroom, and forced herself to throw up. Biographer Alice Eccles wrote that in '65, during an amphetamine drought in San Francisco, Janice Joplin turned to heroin and became interested in George Hunter, who had moved from Los Angeles to San Francisco and started a band called the Mainliners. Eccles related that Hunter's initial success was due less to his musical ability than to his good looks and vision. Hunter also lured beatniks kids out of the coffee houses and onto the dance floors with bands and parties. Hunter admitted to Eccles that he rejected Joplin's quest to join his band, saying, "I had no idea Joplin was a musician because the whole scene where we were part of was connected to dope, heroin. It's uncertain if the mainliners' name stood for mainlining, injecting heroin. They later changed their name to the Charlatans, and some dubbed them the first psychedelic rock band when they started tripping in '64. At the start of '66, Janis Joplin joined the band Big Brother and the Holding Company. Despite the reports of her not liking LSD, she and the band attended the Trips Festival in early '66. Janice achieved sobriety for a while, and her fame grew to the point where promoters scheduled her with Jimi Hendrix, the Mamas and the Papas, and others at the Monterey Pop Music Festival in the summer of 1967. The concert got Joplin's Big Brother and the Holding Company signed to Columbia Records, where a number of their recordings topped the charts. During this time, Big Brother and the Holding Company moved near the Grateful Dead at Lagunitas, and Janice often hung out at the Dead's house. And that's the Grateful Dead. Biographer Eccles said not everyone in and around the band was shooting speed, but once Janice moved to Lagunitas, she found little support for staying clean. As previously mentioned, the Grateful Dead's first manager published a 1971 book revealing that the Grateful Dead dealt heroin in the '60s, presumably to finance their early tours, but it may have had another purpose, to get many local musicians hooked to make it easier to get in control of them. Pushing speed, heroin, and acid appeared to be mainstays in the MK Ultra crowd. Janis Joplin's on and off struggles with heroin are well known. She joined a growing list of music stars who had either dabbled in it or became strung out on it. While MK Ultra undercover agents and scientists manipulated Janis Joplin's San Francisco home here in the 1960s, it's uncertain if any suspected agents besides Michael Raymond specifically targeted her. However, researchers filed Freedom of Information Act requests, and FBI documents revealed that surveillance and discussion of Joplin had begun by the time of the Woodstock in the summer of '69. In 1970, Janis Joplin planned to participate in two huge, unprecedented anti-war music concerts. These festivals for peace raised a lot of money for the peace movement. In Joplin's third appearance on the national popular Dick Cavett television talk show, she announced two of these peace festivals, with the first scheduled in New York's Shea Stadium that August of 1970, and the second scheduled for Philadelphia. With the U.S. intelligence tactic used more often later, police refused to provide security for that later show and got it canceled. By October 1970, Janis Joplin had fallen back into using heroin again, which she exclusively bought from her usual dealer. That fall, the dealer's supplier had apparently given him a batch of heroin that was 40 to 50% pure, 4 to 10 times purer than the average. Joplin died within 90 minutes of injecting it. All of the dealer's customers would die from that batch. Janis' sister Laura said rumors persisted that the CIA had arranged her sister's death, but she didn't know if there was any truth to them. Just before her death, Joplin, with a backup band, had recorded the album Pearl. It included a cover song by her one-time lover, Chris Christopherson, Me and Bobby McGee, a co-written Mercedes-Benz, and a birthday song she recorded for famed Beatle John Lennon. Pearl sold over 4 million copies, topping the Billboard sales charts for 9 weeks. And it's just so crazy. I just want to mention this, how usually before an artist dies, they have an album that is going to come out. And I see that thing occurred even back in the 70s as well. So a lot of good information there. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm going to bring more content out of this book. Better believe it. So, hey, it's your favorite black guy from Nebraska. Yes, there's black people in Nebraska. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.